Bring in retired U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Brian McGough, who served in Kosovo, earned the Bronze Star in Afghanistan, and as we just saw, sustained a devastating head wound in Iraq. Sergeant, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get to the specific points Mr. Limbaugh made in that tape from his broadcast, what's your initial reaction to them?
My initial reaction is disgust. How someone can sit in that chair and say that I am a car bomber, or excuse me, a suicide bomber, is disgusting. I've seen the after effects of a suicide bomb. I've had friends that were hurt in suicide bombs. It makes me mad down to a place where I can't even think to describe. It's just repugnant.
To fact check his claims in there, and he admitted he hadn't seen what you said, which is a sort of a bad starting point from his point of view, one would imagine. But did anybody interpret his remarks for you or tell you what to think about them? You've heard them for yourself, have you not, unlike what Mr. Limbaugh did not hear from you?
Yes, I have heard them for myself. I've read the transcripts, I've heard the audio. I was asked if I'd be interested in doing an ad, and I told them I would be, as long as I agreed with the language of the ad. I read the language of the ad and agreed with it, and it's something that I stand by and stick by. I do believe it, and I can think for myself. And for Rush Limbaugh to say that an American soldier like me can't think for myself because I speak out against the Iraq war is preposterous. A growing number, almost 70% of the U.S. population does not believe in the war. Military is just a mirror image of that, so a lot of veterans and troops don't believe in the war. So what you're really saying is that a growing large number of veterans and troops can't think for themselves.
Yeah, but even if it was just you, or just a handful of people, and that's still your right, is it not?
Yes, it is my right. It's my right that I fought for, I bled for, I sweated all the time, I cried for. And he has the right to say what he wants too, but he has to understand he's got a responsibility. And I said what I said, and I'm coming out and saying, look, these are my words, I believe in them. Where is he? I would like him to have any member of our organization on his show at any time so we can talk to him and look him in the face and say, am I a phony soldier? Do I look like a suicide bomber to you? That's all we ask.
As a soldier, did you hear something in his remarks that, in fact, goes against all soldiers, namely this implication that, boy, the soldiers are great as long as they agree with me, Rush Limbaugh, but they're all on notice if they disagree, they're stupid or gullible or being used, or as he said, phony? Is that in some ways a swipe at all soldiers, stay in line or else?
It is. It's him pretty much saying, if you agree with me, I'll take care of you, and I'll back you, and I'll talk great about you. But if you don't agree with me, and you don't toe the line, you're on your own, and I'm going to talk bad about you, and I'm going to let the world, or what he thinks is the world, know that you are not a real soldier, which is just disgusting and is not acceptable.
You do your duty honorably. You risk death for your country countless times. You receive a Purple Heart. You return home, and you get told by a radio commentator who got deferments and who was defended by the same politicians who sent you into that war that you're a phony and you can't validly disagree with him. All this while you and your wife still deal with the after effects of your injuries sustained in this war, and you're trying to get on with your life and going back to school. On a personal level, is there anything you'd like to say or add to this whole mess?
I would really like to say, and to reiterate I've said before, ask me or any of the members of VoteVets.org to come on your program and talk to you and tell you how we feel. Don't just talk bad about us, and then when we say, hey, that's not right, try to talk bad about us again, and think before you open your mouth.
Brian McGough, a veteran of the Iraq War, a recipient of the Purple Heart, great thanks for your time. And once again, since Mr. Limbaugh will not say this, thank you for your service on behalf of all of us in this country, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on.
Our pleasure and honor.